Hola familia. What's up, people of the internet? I'm Kevin Orosz. I'm a revolutionary. And I'm coming to you live from San Jose, Costa Rica. I want to talk about boundaries and relationships and how I want to make the argument and persuade you to just inform yourself and consider that relationships are boundaries and they're based around boundaries. And this has been really present for me after leaving Tulum and facilitating with Jordan Candelaria. Shout out to that amazing squad. Around like the core issue with so many people is boundaries. And specifically the ability to say no. Or hopefully to even be able to say, fuck no. And so you see this again and again, especially with the feminine. The inability to say no is equivalent to the inability to hold your circle, to hold your energy, to protect it. And relationship is based around one or more entities activating and coming into some kind of union or configuration and relating, which is actually the dissolution of boundaries, right? It's becoming as one, relating to one another. And maintaining individuality and boundaries is going to make that a lot easier, more powerful, and really serving your purpose and serving your emotions, your psychology, your physicality. And so I think there's this false light code in the New Age community that's like, we're all one and no boundaries. Like, don't put up boundaries. Like, why are you in disconnection? Meanwhile, all these people are financially, socially, spiritually, emotionally broke on some level, you know, and I'm not making judgments. I'm just observing, you know, I'm a student of this in myself. So then I can see it in other people. And it might go like this, right? Like you're dating a man, you're dating a woman. You don't really feel a fuck yes 100%, but hey, it's polyamory, or hey, it's what people are doing. So you offer your body anyway, or you enter a relationship anyway. Or you're doing business, or you're getting a client as a coach, or you're hiring a coach, or you're going to a retreat and you're like, yeah, I don't really know if this is for me. You know, I feel it, but everyone else is doing it and I really want to show up in that way. You do it anyway. Meanwhile, your inner world was a no. So every time you honor your inner world, you get rewarded with more energy, more clarity, more purpose, more power, more sense of self. And the most important relationship that you will ever be in your life is to yourself. So when the no is coming up, it's really important for me, and I imagine for you, to own the no. And when people come up to me or they message me and they're like, well, you know, you said blah, 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 so you should do this. Or like, even if they try to pull the card of like, well, you said you'd commit to this and you honor your agreement, even if it wasn't explicit, which it rarely is, because I will always honor my explicit agreements to the best of my ability. Don't always do it, but 95%. You know, by saying no to someone else that you don't feel like you want to connect with, be in relationship with, or go the distance with, whether that's sexually, emotionally, financially, etc., spiritually, then guess what? You saying no to them is saying yes to you. And now I operate in the fuck yes and fuck no, so it's either in or out. The middle zone will actually create a lot of resistance and it'll create a lot of triggers in my experience where people aren't really sure what's going on. So your ability to be hyper clear and harness the masculine yes or no, which is existent in men and women, is going to determine the level and quality of your relationships. So let's put it this way. The ego is important because it creates boundaries. The soul is limitless. Yes, the spirit, the universal mind, it doesn't operate in boundaries. It is about the ego saying no. And the ego is a healthy adaptation to say, no, this is mine. It's the first word a child learns most of the time, no. And that's for a reason. It's the first thing a baby animal or cell in a membrane or any organism, their no is their boundary. So they're like, no, this is where I am, and this is where you end and I begin, right? Sense of self. So you honoring your no, your holy no, your full no, your fuck no, which I see lost in Western society. We've bred a generation of yes men and yes women, which has created a lot of trauma and subconscious patterning. And I think you just need to search yourself and how you were raised to probably find out that this may be true for you too. You know, honoring no and worshiping the truth for you is everything. And ego is a healthy adaptation. The whole business of killing your ego or ego death, yes, cyclically and ritually, this is very important. However, on the daily, you wouldn't be able to exist in reality. The ego is what tells me the avocado goes in my mouth, not in your mouth, you know? And so you can play with dissolving boundaries in intimate relationships and business relationships in your tribe. But at the end of the day, you got to honor your no, and you got to honor boundaries, because that's the richness from which powerful relationships will spring. That's the transmission. It was just coming up as I reflect and integrate and self-study. And yeah, I want you to know that this month I'm accepting 2 new private clients into my 6-week program. So if that's for you, if you want to radically embody boundaries in your finances and your romance and your creativity, I have 2 slots available this month for new clients. Send me a personal message right now if that's for you. I'm also running 2 immersion experiences while I'm in Costa Rica. So this is a private 3-day boot camp of intense initiation through personal development, through breath work, through sound, silence, and really getting clear on what your goals are, getting you out of your environment. And whether you're in corporate, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a single mom, whether you're a young man looking for brotherhood, my goal is to catalyze and initiate and transmute your next level and be that bridge for you. You're gonna have to do the work, but if that's for you, you're interested in a deep dive, hardcore immersion, I'm running 2 in Costa Rica. Send me a private message now. Love y'all. Share this video out to someone who needs to honor their no. Love y'all, fam.